large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC Network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo. If it's Western wear for the whole family you're looking for, there's only one place to shop. That Boot Store. The selections are huge and many of your favorite name brands at affordable prices are available. Want the finest in work clothes? Famous Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 5:30. Next to Kia 15th Street, Panama City. Remember what Joe always said, keep Jesus in your life every day.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. Welcome to the house. It's time for the Afternoon Underdogs.
It's happening.
Wow.
It's on right now.
Opinionated and unfiltered. The hot takes, the rants, and the sports talk you crave.
Give it to me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
What's going on, Northwest Florida? You are now riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida. It's 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. If you're listening in the Mariana area, hang tight, man, because we've almost got the antenna put up, and we should have you guys back on the air more than likely during our show today from 4 to 6. So hope everyone out there is having a fantastic, phenomenal afternoon. The weather's not so bad. Was it raining on your way in, Drew?
No, it was not.
Well,
thankfully.
There you go then. So we have great weather today. We are actually inside again in the function room. And it's, a lot of things happening outside right now. Got all the games going, and me and Kyle were even playing some earlier. We've got a game that we want to talk about a little bit later today as well. But it's been, really just want to give a big shout out to Dave & Buster's. It's such a great place. And right now we're eating, what is it that you guys, that chicken parmesan?
I got the Parmesan chicken pasta here. Ooh. With some cherry tomatoes and just lightly breaded chicken, marinara. This is pretty fire.
His mouth is watering, and the only reason why he's not eating is because he's got that mic. Oh, here he goes for the bite.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, ASMR. Let's get it.
I've got
I'm about to push it up. Don't worry.
A Cobb salad wrap, and it's really good, man. We talk about it all the time. We've been trying more and more menu items, but the food here is definitely underrated, and especially on Wednesdays, you get the half-price games and everything. This is such a great environment. So bring the family out, man. Y'all, we're in function room number 1. Y'all come and hang out, play some games, and we'll even, we'll let Drew or Kyle walk away for a little bit and play you in a game of hoops or something, or Connect 4 hoops. Big shout out to our server Bella as well today. She's done a phenomenal job taking care of us, providing great service.
Hey,
go ahead.
Also, and I hope I don't get in trouble for doing this, because this is something we talked about, what we didn't talk about.
It's not a great way to lead into that.
This is so if you're a business owner and you're watching or you're listening, you're clearly not watching. It's a radio show.
We're not. I mean, we're on Facebook, but you just see the slate the whole day.
So we have an idea for next week, and we might need a shirt or two made sometime in the next 6 or 7 days. So if you're a business owner and you're listening, we have so let us know.
I want to kind of dive into what it is that you're talking about, so that it's not as seeming secretive or an inside deal here. But
it's your idea, so go ahead.
Well, it's It's ESPN Northwest Florida idea. It's a brainchild of Kyle and David, and we have quite a few of those. But we were walking through, and I was like, man, you know all of those viral videos that you see from people kind of doing crazy things out in the streets and whatnot, and walking up to random people, asking them crazy questions. Well, me and Kyle want to get shirts that say ESPN Northwest Florida video game coach, and we want to go around coaching people at the video games that they're playing, and not go over the line, but ride that line as closely as we can. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna toe that line though. I'm bringing a whistle.
There you go.
I'm gonna toe that line.
I need you guys to be back with like Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban on the sideline. One of you be Nick Saban. One of you be either Kirby or Lane Kiffin, just yelling at somebody, and then one of you draw it back like, hey, chill it out, we're good.
I'm actually thinking I'm going to be more of like a Mike Leach type, like if you don't do well, shed.
You're done.
There you go. R.I.P. to the great coach Mike Leach.
Good to see you, Drew.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman, the Gorminator, and we've got Kyle Aaron right in the building with us. We should have the assistant. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I see it on Facebook so often. You know what I mean? That it's almost second nature sometimes to say your middle name.
Carson's teachers call me Aaron, so that's fine.
Really?
Yeah. How did that come?
I don't know, bro.
That's
I
interesting. Wow.
They're good teachers. Shout out to them. They dealt with my crazy kid all year.
Hey, there you go, man. And congratulations to all those who are graduating or moving on from elementary to middle school to high school
to hell.
Well, I guess you're meaning like
real life.
Real world.
Real life, the real world. I don't know, man. It is Would You Rather Wednesday, and we'll be talking about that. We've got the GOAT of GOATs to get into. We finally got all of the sports movies. We've got a list of 65 technically, but there will be a play-in game. So we're going to have a list of 64 movies. We're going to rank those today at 420, possibly leaking into 440 segment. Possibly. Then we'll get into more than likely. You guys were here. If you were listening last week, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Really, if you listen to the Afternoon Underdogs on a regular basis, you know that we can get off on tangents. Sometimes I have a game plan and we don't even audible. We just chuck the game plan out the window. But yeah, so we're going to rank those 64 movies. And then for Would You Rather, and now that I went through the whole spill, would you rather, go back to high school or never go back to high school? You know what I mean? Like that type of deal, because I think that we would have interesting, maybe even different responses.
Yeah.
There would only be one reason I would want to go back to high school, and that's for athletics.
Yeah,
take a deeper dive.
Yeah, of course.
That.
I was going to say there's a couple of things that go into that for me, like a couple of sub questions, if you will.
Yeah,
like, do I know what I know now, and all that good stuff.
Oh man, yeah, 100%. And so we will break out the technicalities as we always do on Would You Rather Wednesday. A lot of you out there who commented on Kyle's post, or if you commented on mine, we're going to be reading off you guys' questions today, and we'll give you a shout out along the way. We really do appreciate all the listeners. And we're on Facebook again. You can't see us, but you can see the break slate, so you can comment there. I'll try my best to read those off. Also, you can text today, no calls, but we're taking text at 850-215-6290. So we'll start off here with the game from last night, not necessarily the hockey game. It is so wild to me that every single NBA and NHL final series right now, or conference finals rather, have all went to 3-0. Now, obviously, the Boston Celtics won last night to push it to a game 5, winning last night. So the series is now still in the Heat's favor. Very strong hold there from the Miami Heat, but 3-1. But the Vegas Golden Knights last night, man, I was going to turn that game on, and normally before I go to an app that I use to check scores, and then I check what's the two closest games. Obviously, the Braves were playing the Dodgers, so I had that on one of the TVs, and then it was decision time between the Celtics and the Heat, or the Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. And at the end of the first period, it was 3-0 Vegas. So I was like, well, it's kind of hard to compare what's a more disparaging score. Like if it's hockey and it's 1-0, that's still a very close game. Whereas if you get to basketball and you're a 20-point deficit, that you could see, okay, maybe that game's over. But, dude, the Heat had let's go into that Heat-Celtics game last night, had a really good-looking first half, and you thought, at least I thought, man, the series is over right now. Just hang it up. Why are we even playing the second half here? But let's get to Kyle's thoughts on the Celtics and the Heat. But first, a quick update on the Tower in Mariana. It's looking like that will be moved to tomorrow morning, so it won't happen today during the show, but we will be getting you guys up here very shortly.
Hey, the ESPN Northwest Florida app, by the way,
yes.
There's like almost no delay. So, I mean, that's literally the best way to listen in Mariana.
Yeah.
So do that. Yeah, man. So, like, I know I do a lot of conspiracy talk, and, you know, my pick from the beginning was Heat in 6, so which is pretty much going to happen at this point. But the conspiracy thing I posted on Facebook is, you know, there was going to be 9 days in between games if that series ended yesterday. I just, sometimes, that we talk about this all the time, like, I feel like there's a little bit of a fix in sports, if you will, and I don't think anybody's losing on purpose. But, it just kind of seems sometimes like there might be a slight fix in. Like, I said it on Facebook yesterday before the game even started. Like, the Heat aren't winning tonight. There's no chance the NBA is allowing it to happen. There's no chance the NBA is given 9 days in between games. There's no way they're going to build this series between two. By the way, like, I would say, like, unless you're a, like, avid basketball fan, two not super exciting teams going into the final. Like, obviously us, like, it's like, okay, Heat Nuggets, this is big, this is going to be awesome. But if you're, like, the casual fan, you're like, okay, who cares? 9 days for this? That's a long wait.
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of thought the Heat were kind of blown there from the get-go. But with that being said, I didn't think the Celtics played that good last night. They obviously shot well from the three-point line, but other than that, they were, you know, pretty average. I would say they were about a little bit better than they've been the rest of the series. The Heat were just really bad. The Heat were sloppy with the ball on offense. They were throwing the ball all over the place. Jimmy Butler, as good as he is, and as good as he is in the playoffs, is not very good at finishing at the rim. And I wish it's something that he would try to do a little less. Bam Adebayo, I don't even know if he knew there was a game last night. So I'm just, you know, we still got another chance. We still got 3 more chances to close it out. I don't think it's going to happen in Boston tomorrow night. I would like it to happen. I would like to get that 7 days of rest for Miami, who has really just, even though they've ended their series pretty quickly for the most part, they've really been to war with these teams mentally, physically. So, and it would be nice to give Tyler Hero some time to get back in the lineup as well.
Yeah, and I was scrolling through Facebook before the game, and I obviously saw what Kyle had posted about talking about how, like, the fix may be on and stuff like that. And Kyle's known for being a little bit more of a conspiracy theorist than most, but I read that and I'm thinking, there's no way there's a fix in. The Heat are obviously the better team with the dominance that they've put on, and then watching the game, you're just like, okay, maybe Jimmy had some popcorn. Maybe Strus had some popcorn before the game and just let the ball slip a couple times. But I mean, I don't know how much I buy into it. It's an interesting take that they wouldn't let 9 days go on, but I mean, it's definitely an interesting take, and I'll take it. But
I like the take. I'm not gonna say that there is or isn't.
I don't think it's an actual thing, but
no, 100%. But I loved when I first read the take. I loved it because it's like one of those things. Man, there is. I don't believe in rigging or anything like that, or that not that the players would be involved, but you never know what the refs are gonna do.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Heat got to the line 28 times last night, whereas the Celtics got there 18 times, and I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you guys and say that I watched a ton of the game. Because I'll be quite frank, what was it, a 7-point lead at halftime? I think it was a 7-point lead in favor of the Heat at halftime, and I was like, okay. I mean, that's all she wrote for the Boston Celtics. They've been terrible in the third quarter for the most part. Outside of game 1, in all reality, they've been terrible. And, you know, Jason Tatum, in fact, in the first half, Jason Tatum was again disappearing act. Yep. And then all of a sudden he, you know, put something together. But it is crunch time now. So this is another one of those pictures that Jason Tatum can paint to put himself into that superstar stratosphere if he wants to. Yeah. But I think that we've seen the reality of that, and I have to give credit where credit's due, and AG and his thoughts on the capabilities of Jason Tatum, and I don't foresee. I didn't see the Celtics before the game winning last night at halftime. I dang sure didn't see it, and I don't see them. I really don't even see them winning again in Boston. But the Boston crowd is going to be raucous.
Well, it looked like Jason Tatum pulled a little bit of a Michael Jordan in Space Jam. Just went back at half, said, "Okay, let me get some of that Mike secret sauce," and came out and balled out. And I think they put up, 38 in the third?
38 in the third, yes, sir.
Tatum ended up with like 33, 34. So, I mean, he finally figured out how to score the basketball.
And that's what the Celtics need, is they need big third quarters, because that's kind of where the Heat have struggled in the playoffs, if anything, outside of this series.
Well, there's a reason Heat fans, we call it the third quarter.
Hey, you're right.
No lie.
And the craziest thing for the Heat right now is the lack of depth. I wouldn't say the lack of depth, but the players that they have, you're not expecting them to have that great depth of how everything's playing out. But they're role players. Caleb Martin, Strus. Them dudes are balling out, dude.
Strus.
Max Strus, baby.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're looking for your breakfast. Like, honey, where's my Strus?
But they are just balling out, and you're not expecting it of them.
I love it, man.
This is playoff series after playoff series that so far that these people have stepped up, that you're these unlikely players.
So obviously it's hard for me to be unbiased in this situation because I'm a huge Miami Heat fan. But I will say, in the spirit of Would You Rather Wednesday, I almost feel like the Celtics are in a better spot right now than the Miami Heat are. And here's why. Because, I think Dave Portnoy put this on his Facebook status last night, which I love that guy to death. Shout out to Barstool. I don't know if we're allowed to do that or not. But
you just did.
I just did. Well, I mean, maybe Randy will find me.
Bye.
But, he put it on there that, you think about Boston, the spot that they're in. You just won Miami, first team to do that this postseason. And now you get to go back up to Boston for Game 5, and you're going to have the crowd's going to be rowdy. And then the pressure's on Miami in Game 6. If Miami can't close it out in Game 6, back at home.
But in Game 7, and we saw the Game 7 that Tatum had.
See the Game 7 that Jason Tatum just had against Philly. You're going back to Boston, another tough place to go win, and it's even tougher in a Game 7 atmosphere. So, obviously Miami, you just got to win 1 before you lose 3. That's you had to win 1 before you lost 4. Now it's 3. Then it could be 2. Then it could be I would just say that this Miami Heat team is not sexy on paper. And if they've made a lot of history positively in this postseason already, maybe there's a chance, if there's ever been a chance for a team to make that history in a negative way, this might be the situation.
I totally agree with you. Go ahead. You didn't have
I was agreeing. I was nodding in agreement. I know that's great radio, but I mean, just kind of, I agree.
I mean, I can do it because you can hear my mic shake if I do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, that's it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. And the Heat, you're right. The pressure does turn up for the Heat if Game 5 doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
If Game 5 doesn't go their way, all the pressure kind of, and of course, it's still going to be, Jason Tatum knows that he's pressurized, right? There's so much pressure on the shoulders of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as well. I don't want to take him out of the picture, but are people talking about, is it Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? You get a little bit of that, but are they trying to put that moniker of superstar on Jaylen Brown? There's not as much as that. Now, I'm sure that there is some, but there's not as much of that.
There was the big question coming into everything about Jaylen Brown. Are the Celtics going to pay him? And with his contract, the way it was set up, if he made the league rule, if you make the All NBA team, they have to you are eligible for a max,
supermax.
Yeah. So, and since he made an All NBA team, then now he's eligible, but he's going into the last year. But no one's talking about where he's disappeared to.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about everyone's only talking about how where Tatum is, but no one's talking about Jaylen Brown, and it's just interesting to me that no one's brought it up yet.
Yeah, no doubt. That is very interesting, and we'll see. Again, we'll see how it plays out with LeBron getting swept. What do you guys? Where does that take him down a notch? I mean, what is your thoughts on the Lakers getting swept by the Denver Nuggets?
I think that obviously from a hate, like if you're a hater on LeBron, this is like just fuel to your fire. But if like, it's easy to say that if you're not watching the series, man. It's like, because I feel like the Lakers played 4 really good games for the most part. LeBron played 4 really good games. He had some, I think some big fumbles there in Game 3, which may have changed his mind on this whole career aspect of things. But I really think that they don't have anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, and for me, like, I will tell you straight up, like, to me, MJ is the GOAT over LeBron. But all things considered, with how this year played out, LeBron has taken some strides in my mind on the greatness of him. Like, I've always thought he was a really great player, but I'm like, okay, MJ still has you beat. But with the way that things have played out, with the pieces that they brought in, with AD missing so much time, with LeBron missing so much time, and then being able to put it all together, they were never supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals. They were never supposed to be there. Even at the beginning of the year, you were looking at them going, okay, yeah, it's a crowded Western Conference. They'll probably make it to the semis. They were never supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals. So just the fact that they were there, even after what were they, like 3 weeks into the season, like 5-20, 5-13 or something like that. It was just absolutely
it was abysmal.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there as a Pelicans fan. We had their first round draft pick, sitting there expecting to get Wembanyama. And we were going to be going on to the playoffs because at that point in time we were skyrocketing. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is it for LeBron because, I mean, you're in this series, he had what, a 40-point double-double or 40-point triple-double?
Yeah.
Like, how can you just turn that off and say, no, I'm good?
In the clinching game, by the way, like in the final games.
Yeah. So, like, coming off that, how can you... I don't see how he turns that off.
It's just because, that's just a fun thing to do, bro. And it is what it is. Like, I'm always going to go to bat for the guy. Like, he's easily the best player of our generation. I believe him 100% with what he said in his postgame when he said that I'm still better than 90% of the league, maybe 95. I truly believe that that's still a fact, dude. I would take a 38-year-old LeBron over Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I would take him over a lot of dudes. I'd take him over anybody on Miami except for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And I think the way he just, in that postgame conference, he just looked wore out.
He's 38 years old.
He is 38.
I think it's just the way the year had gone, with so many ups and downs, so much put on him to be that guy, like previous years. But at 38 years old, he just looked like a guy that had been put through the ringer, and in 4 straight games where, like you said, he put up good games. But at the end of the day, you got to have more pieces around you. You've got to have that guy you can pass out and make those knockdown three-pointers.
I think it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning, is that for the Lakers to even be in the Western Conference Finals, like, you did your job. You outdid expectations. So I don't think you can really go wrong there. It is time for us to take a break. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida with 3 fantastic frequencies: 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 the Forgotten Coast, Port St. Joe, and Mariana will be back up and bumping soon. It's the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back with some behind the scenes of GOAT of GOATs tournament.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Head first slide, 2 RBI triple.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Best Way Portable Buildings, Dave and Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The rest of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the northeast, a mixture of clouds and likely thunderstorms, and 78. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a bit cooler at 67. Tomorrow, sunny and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 81. About the same at 80 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290.
I'm sure that most of you have used a dial telephone before.
The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back live and local. We're out here at Dave and Buster's. Normally we're on the patio on these Wednesday afternoons, but today we are in function room number 1, just like we were last week, and we're right outside the door of a lot of these great games. I don't know which one. I see a shark right outside. We played one earlier today that was called Milk Jug Toss, and it was the first time that I think that me or you have either I know I haven't played it, but I don't think I've seen it before today. And we were walking by, Kyle's like, what's that? And so we played it, and then once we were done, like, you want to play this one again? And it was like, yeah,
I play it almost every single time. I love that game.
How many times have you hit the 1,000?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit, man.
Quite a bit.
I had it ringing in and out of there, but I never got one to drop, and I think Kyle got one in the second game that we played. You got 2 of them?
I'm muted. Sorry, smart, right? No, but I got 2 on my last one. I went over there without you. But of course, nobody's ever there when you do the good stuff. But
do you throw overhand or underhand?
Underhand.
I dunk it.
You were throwing
Big man.
What were you throwing? You throw it overhand?
Underhanded, like pitch, like but the dude can't pitch.
If I was doing video game coaching, I see someone throwing that overhand, I'm going to be all up in their grill.
Yeah, well, next week, I'm telling you, if you're a t-shirt maker.
Yeah, there you go, man. It would be better to have marks in there so that you could like really give it to the people who know. You know what I mean? For the joke's sake of it, because obviously if you're just being super nice and everything, it won't be that fun. Plus, to get people on camera, you have to ask their permission anyways. Again, this is ESPN Northwest Florida. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Kyle Wright and Drew Gorman. We should have the Assistant General Manager, Amanda Muller, in with us at some point. But we have gotten our list down to 64. So we're not just throwing out random movies anymore, but we are going to do our best, and we would love you guys' help here. 850-215-6290, and as well on Facebook. I was going to say Facebook Live. Well, it is Facebook Live, where we're you can find us at ESPN Northwest Florida. Caveman Rick says it would be nice if LeBron would retire, so at some point in the second hour today, we'll dive into that. But with each, we've got 64 movies here, which is going to be tough, especially not all of these have been watched by us. So, you know, we might have to rely on a little bit of a list here, and we're not going to go through all 64 name by name, but we'll just kind of start working through them. Eventually, all 64 will be mentioned in some way, shape, or form. So let's start with what we do know, and there's only one thing that we know so far.
Yep. Okay, so we're doing this as in the NCAA tournament style, except we're going 64. We're not doing 68 with 4 play-ins. We're doing 1 play-in, and that's our animated game, and that's between Cars and Turbo. We're going. That's going to whoever wins that is going to be our 16th seed, our 64th overall seed, which will go against our first overall seed. Which do we want to go ahead and figure that out?
63.
I'm sorry, no, I'm saying our first overall seed, like our number 1 overall seed.
Cool. I wonder if it would be easier to pick out the number ones, or to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. But
maybe kind of like a sandwich effect, like start with like 1 and 2, and then kind of like and then maybe go through the list and go like, where would you like?
At the end of the day, right, we're relying on votes. It doesn't matter how we've really got them seated in this instance, because I think it's a lot different when you're talking GOAT of GOATs and it's players, right? Because you've got people in different sports. Whereas at the end of the day, yes, these are different sports movies, but they're still a movie,
right?
And it's going to come down to what the people vote for. So I was hoping Amanda would be here for this segment, because then we could each pick out our one. And almost have like our own individual 16 bracket, almost like a draft. Because I don't know how you can whittle 65 teams into a bracket like this. You know?
It's kind of tough, man. But I think that that's why we have 2 brackets apiece here.
Yeah.
So like if everybody
mistakes will be made.
So I want to go ahead and submit my pick for what I think should be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Their number 1 overall seed in this whole thing.
Bull Durham.
And I think it's I think it's clearly Remember the Titans.
Yes.
Remember the Titans.
That was my vote.
I think I have to agree there. I have no issue at all with Remember the Titans, and I don't think, because our biggest thing here is that we did get some flack back from some of the listeners and some of the participators, in some of the ways that we ranked the last athletes, so we want to do our best to rank these the best way and get the best matchups possible. Could you imagine doing this for the NCAA tournament, for the men's or the women's tournament? And it's like, man, instead of just going by numbers, you're trying to create those matchups and everything. Very interesting. For me, I'm going to say that my number 1 seed, or like the next number 1 seed, if you will, I would like to lobby for 42.
42. Okay, so this is a really obviously a great movie. Jackie Robinson story. Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. Black Panther. I mean, dude's an incredible actor. This is the movie that really just like kick-started his movie career and got him that role as T'Challa in the MCU. So, I mean, I have to agree, just because like the story was so well told. I don't have an argument with this.
All right, so I think that and I'm kind of relying on you guys. I'm without a pen since someone other than myself owns my backpack now.
Someone other than myself.
Hold on.
Oh man, it was so wild how yesterday's show started too, because we were talking. I'm not going to get off into that tangent, but I don't have any pen on me, so I'm going to rely on you guys.
Pen, if she'll bring
there we go.
Pen emoji.
That just shows you how good the service is here at Dave and Buster's, where we would love for you guys to come and hang out with us. Even if you're going to come here and just play some games or get you some food and whatnot, we would love to see you guys stop by. Function room number 1. So 42 is I think the number 2 overall, or number 3 or number 4 overall seed. I don't care where it lands. I think it deserves to be up there. What about for you, Drew?
Remember the Titans was my vote.
Absolutely.
But I'm coming down to, I think I'm going to end up with Sandlot. Sandlot's going to be my number 1.
And as I'm going through this
your
list,
next number 1 or your
the next number 1.
Yeah, so
okay,
like
so after 42. Okay, gotcha. And then we can debate a little bit about that 4th one. I like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
We kind of went around the table there and each picked the number 1.
So we don't have Amanda with us, so this will be one of those ones that we that we'll get to a little bit of debate. And Bad News Bears, I think, definitely should have been a sort of play-in game, or we just align those to play against each other.
Yeah, we could end up doing that in maybe an 8-9 kind of situation.
8-9, I think
there's
is
2
lovely.
of those, actually. There's the Longest Yard.
Air Bud.
And, Air Bud's 1 and 2.
Space Jam, Karate Kid. Well, there's 3. And then there's the Major League that are
That's
3.
making it easy for us. You can almost write 8 9s on your little paper right here.
You can almost go ahead and do it.
So let's go to our fourth number 1 here, and this is where it gets tough right here.
It does.
A couple off top that I'm looking at. You've got Field of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You could do Radio. Rudy.
You're not getting me at all.
I was gonna say, okay, so I'm gonna throw a curveball here,
Coach Carter.
And I have 3. I have 3 possible as well.
All right, I love 3 possible.
And Coach Carter is absolutely one of them. Incredible performance. Samuel L. Jackson, just amazing. I'm also going to go ahead and throw in the comedy of Talladega Nights. I understand it's mostly comedy, but it's quotable, which you would think about in a sports movie. How often do you hear shake and bake and all this other stuff in sports nowadays? Obviously, very important. And then I don't know if anybody has seen King Richard.
I actually have seen it.
But obviously an Oscar was won for this movie on the same night as The Slap, by the same guy who did The Slap. And it's a really good movie. So those will be my 3 submissions, and then let's see what you got, Dave.
Well, for me, I would it would be Talladega Nights would absolutely be up there.
I have a new one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, though.
No, you're good.
I screwed up.
Did we get Slapshot onto the list or no?
I don't think Slapshot.
But I wouldn't have it this high anyways, though. For me, so I'm gonna go with Goon. I'll go Goon. I'll go Talladega Nights. Or my last one will be, oh man, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Angels in the Outfield, and I'm gonna throw that one in there. Angels in the Outfield.
Because I was just about to go to Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
but
so you had Goon, Angels in the Outfield, and
or so Goon, Angels in the Outfield, or Talladega Nights. And I would love to see Talladega Nights have to go up against Happy Gilmore.
The only one of the 3 that each one of us mentioned that was named again was Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
So
I think by process of elimination, that's going to be our first overall. No, that's going to be our final number 1 seed.
Final number one seed. All right, dude. So there it is. Talladega Nights.
Wow. Who would have thought?
1 seed, dude. That's kind of. But I mean, you know, that you said it best there, Dave. Quotability is 100% key when you're doing this kind of thing.
No doubt about it. So now we'll move to the first overall number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Right? And this is, I mean, man, the more that we do here until we get halfway through, the harder it's going to be. I mean, for me, I'm always going to put the comedies above the real life. And that's just my taste of movies. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Dodgeball, and I think Dodgeball could be one of the 4 number 2 seeds.
I think that's more than fair.
Oh no, Major League has
Major League's got to go a 2 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Major League.
Major League 1 is a 2 seed.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll do Major League 2 and 3 versus each other.
Yeah,
all right.
I think that's a good idea too. That could even be like a 7-10 matchup, or maybe even we'll get there. But so I agree with that so far. All right. So what do we got?
So we're at number
Dodgeball. We've got. All right, so I'm going to go Dodgeball here in this bracket.
All right, Dodgeball sounds good right there.
Again, I'm sure the listeners love that.
Oh, yeah.
What was the other one you just mentioned? I'm sorry.
Major League.
Major League is going to go. I'm going to put that in the same bracket as Talladega Nights.
I like that one as well. And then looking at some of the others here, give me a couple of 2 seeds over there, Drew. What are you thinking?
Hoosiers.
Okay.
Hoosiers as a 2 seed?
Gridiron Gang. That's Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings could be up there. I find these. I think Happy Gilmore's got to be a 2 seed. Happy Gilmore's got to be a 2 seed.
Angels in the Outfield.
I'm throwing Happy Gilmore in.
I love Happy Gilmore right there. So that's going to be 3 2 seeds, right?
That's 3.
All right.
Okay, so Angels in the Outfield is a really good movie. I can't disagree with that.
Where did you put Major League on your...
I put it with Talladega Nights, and then I put Happy Gilmore with Sandlot. I put Dodgeball with the number 1 over there. I really feel like we both mentioned it, Dave, and like Drew mentioned earlier, like it was a constant between the 2 of us. Coach Carter.
Yeah, I think if y'all are good with it, I'm good with Coach Carter.
This could
and
be
we can always, edit this after we get further into it.
That's why we have 2 of these, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna throw, if you're cool with that, Drew, I'm gonna throw Coach Carter here with 42.
All right. Where does Rocky land on the list?
So for me, like I didn't
love Rocky?
Like I've seen Rocky a couple times. Like it's not the legendary movie to me, just because I don't know. I never liked Sylvester Stallone and a whole lot of stuff. I know, dude. The only movie I really saw with him that I loved was Rambo.
I just think, do we have one more 2 seed or no? Because I think Rocky needs to. I think Rocky's got to be a higher seed. You know what I mean?
But for the sake of nostalgia and everything, I do think that Rocky and popularity and everything, Rocky's in. I mean, I didn't even like the movie, and I still go around Adrian. So.
I actually funny, because we've been trying to watch some of these, but I end up watching the ones that I've already watched. So last night I watched a good chunk of Bull Durham, and then I actually finished off and went to sleep watching Rocky, but I never finished the movie. So that was that to me, Rocky's got to be up there. So are we at the 3 seeds yet? We're at the 3 seeds.
We are
right
on
now?
the threes now.
All
Yeah.
right, perfect. So let's go ahead and have Rocky be the first 3 seed.
Okay, so where do you want to put that? Is that more of a
Remember the Titans, 42, Sandlot, or Talladega Nights?
whose bracket do you want it in? You're gonna
Not the
pick.
funny bracket, because I think we should try to keep
All the
funny
funny
movies
ones?
together.
Well,
that would be
shoot.
really tough,
Well,
though.
Happy Gilmore and Sandlot are together. That could work.
Yeah,
could
that
work.
kind of works. Coach Carter in 42 will make that
Very serious.
The social justice.
Is Space
bracket.
Jam a 3 seed?
Space Jam is a 3 seed, and okay, so
One?
let's throw that in the very first one. Let's throw that with Remember the Titans.
All right.
And so what I'm going to do there, Space Jam is going to be the 3, and the 14 seed in that bracket is going to be Space Jam 2.
All right, perfect. And again, ladies and gentlemen who are listening with us, and we appreciate you so much, we're going to edit this and fill it out, and there's no perfect way to do this. I mean, when you're sitting here and you're looking at 64, 65 movies and trying to seed them out is pretty tough, and you're going to get a lot of disagreements, but we do appreciate you guys riding along with us and giving us your comments.
And by the way, we're on a pen and paper type beat. Like, we're not.
There ain't no spreadsheet going on here or anything. James Lawson says Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks is absolutely on the list, and we are going to be getting that on here shortly.
And then Happy Gilmore.
We've got another text from someone else. I don't know who it is, but we do appreciate the text. He says, do you have the movie Hoosiers on your list? And yes, we absolutely do. The only one that I'm seeing that we could be missing, and I do agree with Caveman Rick on this, is Slapshot. But we'll either figure out a way to get it in there, or it'll have to make its way back to next year's tournament.
Yeah, which might end up having to be a video game.
Yeah.
Can I throw out Radio to go for a 3 seed with 42 and Coach Carter?
I can agree with that. I'm with it.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. I'm down with Radio there at the
That's
3.
what, Cuba
Gooding. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Radio and Remember the Titans are probably 2 of my favorite movies of all times.
So let's go to the Talladega Nights bracket, which actually also ends up being like the comedy bracket of sorts, because you've got Talladega Nights and Major League over there.
Mm-hmm.
So a 3 seed I'll submit for this one. Let's go Bagger Vance, dude. And I know it's not necessarily a comedy. I know it's not a comedy, but it's not going to work out like this out of
You
the
got
gate.
Waterboy.
Huh?
Waterboy on the board.
Well, yeah, you still got Waterboy. So I think maybe Waterboy goes in this one, and then you could throw.
Well, I mean, you got Waterboy. There's so many to choose from right here. But I definitely think that Bagger Vance needs to be a 3 seed. I mean, we were talking about that yesterday. I believe it was Justin or Jacob Lassiter had texted into the Inside Drive yesterday, and he also gave us a great idea. I can't remember which one of the brothers that it was, but he was getting into asking Ryan what his favorite golf movie was, and then talking about what we do here on the Afternoon Underdogs, and said that we should talk about the worst sports movies of all time.
All right, well, the trophy goes to basketball.
Yeah.
Where did we end up putting Radio? It was a 3 seed, but
we put it in with 42.
With 42?
Yeah.
I mean, not Radio. The one that you had said, Rocky.
Rocky. Oh, I've put
It was
Rocky
a 3
down.
seed.
Yeah.
It was
Rocky's got to be a 3.
It's either
So let's put it in with
Sandlot and Happy Gilmore, or
let's throw it-
Talladega and Major League.
Let's go with Sandlot and Happy Gilmore.
All right.
I'm cool with that. So that leaves us 1 3 seed. So now we got to figure that out.
All right. So now we're on to, that was our final 3 seed, correct?
No,
we need one.
One more
for
3 seed.
to go with Talladega Nights and Major League.
So it doesn't necessarily they don't have to be perfect. I think there's so many movies here that they're going to end up being different in some aspect. So
I'm about to block Caveman from Facebook, bro. Straight up, man. Goodness gracious. Let's see here. We've got
Moneyball.
Moneyball's a good one.
We
I don't
still
know
have
if I like
Waterboy.
it that high, man. We still got Caddyshack out here. Caddyshack's got to be. Caddyshack's got to go in a 4 seed, man. I think it's been. It
I
should
think
have been.
Caddyshack's the final 3 seed.
Yeah, okay,
well,
I'm with
hold on.
that.
So you've got Caddyshack, you've got Waterboy. All right, you've got Bagger Vance, which we have not put down yet. So these are your 3 possible 3 seeds, and whichever one out of those don't make this have got to be 4.
Is the bracket that we're looking for the 3 seed in a funny bracket or more of a serious?
It's in the Talladega Nights Major League area.
Caddyshack.
So it's got to be Caddyshack. All right, that's fair enough.
That is perfect.
And this
right
is why we
there.
have more paper, because we should. I guess we should have established that we'd have different areas of Coach Carter 42 and Radio. Is that's our.
serious bracket.
Yeah, more of our
heartstrings.
series. Yeah, and all really like about racial inequality and stuff like that too. So that's our social justice bracket.
So, and we haven't got Bagger Vance in then, right?
We do not have Bagger Vance.
So Bagger Vance goes in the 4 seed of that same very bracket.
Of that same very bracket. That's fair enough for me. Bagger Vance over there.
Now, I wonder how people would feel about the rookie being a 4 seed. I mean, we still got so many movies on here, but that's the beauty of it. To me, I would say that the rookie is a top 4 movie. That's or a top 16 movie. But we do got to take a break. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and this is ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. We would appreciate some more text and Facebook comments. 850-215-6290. Thank you guys for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Hi, this is David from the Afternoon Underdogs. Join me, Drew, Amanda, Kyle, Caveman Rick, AG, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday at Dave & Buster's.
While we are broadcasting the entire show live on location, enjoy half-price games, half-price cocktails, plus win Dave & Buster's game cards, and just for stopping by, free ESPN Northwest Florida swag.
See you Wednesday at Dave & Buster's.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The rest of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the northeast, a mixture of clouds and likely thunderstorms, and 78. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a bit cooler at 67. Tomorrow, sunny and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 81. About the same at 80 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
If it's Western wear for the whole family you're looking for, there's only one place to shop, That Boot Store. The selections are huge and many of your favorite name brands at affordable prices are available. Want the finest in work clothes? Famous Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 5:30. Next to Kia 15th Street, Panama City. Remember what Joe always said, keep Jesus in your life every day.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
It is a walk-off home run for Sean Murphy into the Braves bullpen.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdog.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. We're live and local. We're out here at Dave & Buster's in function room number 1. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, and you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Man, if you've got any type of function that you need to have somewhere host, this is a fantastic place. In fact, we talked about it a little bit last week, I believe. But we had our fantasy football draft out here, and we had 3 different drafts going on in this very building all at the same time, and it was such a lot of fun. So Dave & Buster's is a great place to host your events. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm the Afternoon Underdogs.
He is the underdog.
We're the Afternoon Underdogs, along with a great cast of guys. I mean, Monday through Friday, we've always got such a great, fun cast of sports-loving fanatics. But today, it's me, David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman and Kyle Wright.
Yeah.
Johnny Yankee Seed says he hasn't heard anyone say anything about the greatest game ever played yet. And I was scanning through the list there during the break, and I don't know if we look, guys, that's the thing about this, you know. It's
we've been doing this for like a month.
Yeah, and you'll look at lists, and you know, it's not always going to be perfect. If we find one, if we get to the end of this and we're like, okay, we can scrap that one, that's when
right.
You know that we're in the editing phase. Like last week was, I don't know if you guys have ever done research papers, right? But you've got got your brainstorming phase. Then you've got your kind of let's put it all together, you know. So we're past the brainstorming phase, but this is not a finished product by any means. And you know, we're going to make sure that we get movies in like Slapshot, Caveman Rick. We can. It's not that it's not in yet, you know. We like a movie like Bang the Drum Slowly or whatever. For some people, that could be a great movie. And we do got some older movies on here, so we're gonna get to it. And you know what? Your list would look totally different than ours. A lot of people's list would look totally different than ours. We're just trying to do a little bit of fun and let you guys, you know, engage with you guys, interact with you guys just a little bit more.
And I will also say, like, you know, from the side that like we're the ones that are going to be covering this on the radio. Like, the movies have to at least somewhat resonate with us.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So we have to know, thank you.
That love for the win. Oh, I'm keeping this one. This is a good one. All right, Bella's been taking care of us this afternoon, and we really appreciate everything that she's done, especially for the last 2 weeks. She is awesome. Where are we at on this list here? Are we on the 4th seed still?
Yes, so we're on the 4s. We got Bagger Vance over in the 42 bracket.
All right.
You've got Remember the Titans, still needs a 4 seed. We've got the 3 and the 14 filled out there. So just to kind of recap here, if you're just joining us, in our first overall bracket, we've got Remember the Titans as the 1 seed against the 16 seed, which will be the 64th overall. Well, I'm not going to do that every time, but it's you got Cars or Turbo as a play-in, which we'll probably host that on Facebook exclusively. And then you've got the 2 seed in that bracket is Dodgeball. Your 3 and 14 are filled out in that bracket as well with Space Jam and Space Jam 2.
Oh, and I just had this thought real quick and just want to let everyone know the whole thing of this, we're just setting it up and you guys can vote and show us how, you know, wrong we were or whatever. You know, that's kind of the beauty of this. All right, so sorry to interrupt you.
No,
there.
You're good. You're good. It's your show. All right, so 42 in their bracket, they've got 42 is a 1 seed. Number 2 is Coach Carter. Number 3 is Radio, and number 4 is The Legend of Bagger Vance. Over in the other region, we've got Sandlot as the number 1 seed with Happy Gilmore and Rocky at the 2 and 3, and then we've still got a 4 to fill out there. And then we come over to the Talladega Nights bracket, which is currently sitting at Talladega Nights, Major League, and Caddyshack.
And so this is where I think Waterboy ends up as the 4 seed.
I can agree with that, actually, because you don't want to have Happy Gilmore and Waterboy in the same. Well, there's a lot of Adam Sandler sports movies that are really good.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I would agree with that, Drew. I think since that's kind of more of the comedy bracket, if you will, that Waterboy should end up over there as a 4 seed.
Waterboy is a 4 seed. I like that one.
Really could be higher, man. It's crazy how this is kind of working out so far. Like, Waterboy really had we went from an argument for a 1 seed for Waterboy to there it is sitting at a 4, which is fine. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
The way the cookie crumbles.
So Sandlot, Rocky, Happy Gilmore, those don't really have a whole lot in common. So what would you like if you were going to pick a 4 seed? That's a really good movie.
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers is okay. Hoosiers, Cool Runnings.
Hoosiers are Cool Runnings. I'm good with that. I think I would ride with. I think I like Hoosiers kind of in that miscellaneous. It's about riding bikes, right? I believe is that no.
Hoosiers is the Indiana basketball high school basketball team.
Yeah.
I think
didn't love that movie, but I mean, again, this isn't all about us.
What is that bike ride movie though? Like the little Indy 500 or whatever that they do. You know what I'm talking about? I've seen it before. I just can't remember it, and I'll look that up here in a little bit. But go ahead, Drew.
I think Hoosiers ends up as a 5 seed with 42 Bagger Vance, Radio, and the Sirius area because that was for the time that it played out. I think it belongs a little bit better there, but the 4 seed over there with Sandlot, Rocky, and Happy Gilmore, you really don't have much. What was the first one that you had said, Kyle?
Oh, boy.
For over here? Yeah, I know.
Oh, boy.
Great idea, Drew.
That was like 10 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, because I ramble. Thanks.
Yeah, no. I believe it was, man, what did I say to go over there?
I want to go with
Angels in the Outfield.
No, it wasn't that one.
I know it wasn't that one, but I'm throwing it out there for the 4 seed
Angels
for over
in the
there.
Outfield would work.
Or was it Cool Runnings that you had said?
Cool Runnings was the one I had mentioned. It's not a comedy, but
To me,
I don't think there's enough comedies. Like, I don't think there's enough to, like, really truly split the bracket like that.
For me, the 4 seed over there with Sandlot, Rocky, and Happy Gilmore is either going to be, for me, I want to throw out Angels in the Outfield or Cool Runnings. Those are my 2.
All right, then. So where are we at? Where's our next 4 seed?
So I guess I'm going to go Angels in the Outfield over there.
So Angels in the Outfield is the 4 seed?
Yeah.
Give me Goon somewhere here soon. I think we need. Or no, we'll wait on Goon. One movie that I do want to get in there here soon.
Which we got one more, so this could be your chance.
So this is going to be for the 4 seed, right? You know what? I think Bad News Bears, both of those need to be 8 and 9. 1976 Bad News Bears in 2005 needs to be an 8 and 9 somewhere. So we won't get to that yet.
Yeah.
How about Field of Dreams? Have we got that on there?
We don't. We don't have it
on
here yet.
Does that fit in with that particular side of the bracket?
Yeah.
Remember the Titans, Space Jam 2, Dodgeball?
I mean, it's kind of all over the place already over there. So.
And Cars or Turbo.
Man, this is going to have to be redone.
I think Field of Dreams works there.
Breaking Away is the name of the bike riding movie that I was talking about. It's a good movie. Go back and check that one out.
Dude, I don't think Rookie of the Year made it on here.
Rookie of the Year? Didn't even make it on the list. Hey, look, man, we knew
crazy.
And those are ones that with the editing process. How about Karate Kid here?
So listen, Karate Kid has to be pretty high, just because the success for that show, and then the success of, or that movie rather, and then the success of Cobra Kai coming out of it, the new Netflix show. I mean, Cobra Kai might be more popular, but
so
this
you
is
want to
all
go 4 seed Karate Kid, and then later on we'll have Karate Kid 2 versus
Karate Kid 3. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah,
so
Karate Kid could be the 4 seed over here. Man.
And now we're on to 5 seeds.
All right, to the 5 seeds.
We should have just put this in a generator.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. But we're going to have a little bit of fun with it, no doubt. So to start off the 5 seeds, is Rudy allowed to be right there at a 5 seed? I mean, it's one of those movies that, is memorable, but if in my opinion, if I were to turn it on today, I don't know how deep I get into it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Maybe we wait a little bit.
You had mentioned Hoosiers a few minutes ago.
I think Hoosiers is perfect right there.
Hoosiers can go in the bracket that you mentioned, Drew.
42, Bagger Vance, Radio, and Coach Carter?
Yeah, I'm good with Hoosiers there. That's a good spot for that to be. It kind of resonates with everything else that's going on over there.
Did you say resignates?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, dude. It kind of just it fits perfectly, if you will.
Here we go, man. Let's get into our next 5. Let's go to Cool Runnings. I love Cool Runnings right there.
Yeah, maybe we figure out the movie instead of trying to figure out the bracket.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then we find okay, where's it fit now? Yeah. Where's it fit better? So Cool Runnings.
I like with Sandlot, Angels in the Outfield, Rocky, and Happy Gilmore.
Me too. That's perfect there. All right,
it's a little mixed match of everything.
I would say that Drew's been spitting off Angels in the Outfield a lot, and I do agree with him that's like an all-time great movie.
Yeah.
So I would. Oh wait, no, we have that already. You're right, as a 4. Okay, so that I just didn't cross it off because I'm not smart.
I would like to see. You know what? King Richard's still sitting out here, I believe, right?
Hoosiers is good. Yeah, King Richard is
a
good spot for this.
The Natural's still sitting out there, and I would like to have some of these movies that maybe we don't know as much about or that we haven't watched recently and just see how it does. So like one like The Natural, just to throw it up there and then put it up and make the lower seed of that one a movie that we really do or that resonates more with us or whatever. So maybe throw The Natural in as a 5 seed here.
Let's do it. Where do you think, though? Do you think would that fit more in the Remember the Titans area?
Or with the Talladega Nights?
Oh, it would definitely not be with Talladega Nights.
So let's go The Natural over there.
Yeah, The Natural over there. I just would like to see how that one does.
Let's think about Mighty Ducks for a second.
Dude, That's the one for me that, like, if someone would have said, make Mighty Ducks the number one, I would have been like, I ain't got an issue with that.
Right.
I don't have an issue with that.
So just like if you're trying to go on Blades of Glory, such a good movie.
Blades of Glory has to be in the Happy Gilmore side of the bracket. That one absolutely has to go there.
Well, the only 5 seed that we have left right now is in the funny bracket. And I know we're saying we're trying not to, there's not enough funny, but while we got a chance, would you consider Mighty Ducks funny?
There, or White Men Can't Jump.
White Men Can't Jump that's the one.
That's it, then. All right, so we're going to move on there to, we're already on the 6 seeds?
By the way, let's stop remaking this stuff, because that Jack Harlow one,
have you seen it?
It's horrible.
Trash. Oh, man.
Horrible.
Well,
it's a series.
Still heard a lot of good things about and I've watched it, but hearing the things about Air, that movie, that one's pretty good as well. Jacob Lasser says Goon is funny as all get out. So we've got Goon. I know Goon's on the list, but it hasn't made it to its destination
you want to go
quite
6
yet.
Well, I've never seen this movie, so I'm going to let you pick where to put it, dude.
Me either as well.
I think Goon is one of those ones, and Caveman Rick's wants Slapshot there over Goon, and I'm with that, but I've got to go back and make sure that I've seen Slapshot before I can 100% say that. And Goon is one of those ones that is just funny, man. It's funny.
A couple of people have said Goon, and Sean William Scott's just that guy.
Exactly.
Old Stifler.
He is great. So we're at a 6 seed, though, and I would like to throw out a tough one here, but Bull Durham, to me, after watching it again last night, like last week I would have said it needs to be a top 5 seed, and then after watching I'm like, I don't know if it's a top 10 seed, to be quite frank with you. It's so quotable, it is, but and it's got a great storyline, but I just caught myself thinking like, man, like, I don't know. It's older, so I guess that's one of the issues there.
Dude, I think that it would be fair for us to demand an apology on making us watch Bull Durham.
No.
I'll say it, dude.
It was a good movie. It just was.
Dude, but it's not like I got 45 minutes in, and I love sports movies. I clearly love sports movies. I'm doing where we built from scratch a 64 team bracket out of nothing but sports movies. So we clearly have a love for these, but that movie didn't do it for me. The movie did nothing for me. Like, you got to wait a little longer. I couldn't stay awake.
Yeah, it's hard to stay awake, I guess, for you, but for me, I was awake throughout the whole time.
Pretty chaotic life, so staying awake is pretty difficult in a lot of cases.
Staying awake. All right, we've got to get to a break. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, ESPN Northwest Florida, and we're going to take a quick little hiatus from this and come back and play a little Would You Rather for Would You Rather Wednesday.
This Memorial Day, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida honors our local heroes. A Panama City native, United States Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Sherry Lynn Olds served 20 years and died in the 1998 embassy bombing in Nairobi, Africa, while serving her country. Thank you for your service and great sacrifice. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday evening. As we head into tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 67 with a light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the northeast. For tomorrow morning, sunshine and a temp near 77. In the afternoon and evening, a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 81. For Friday, sunshine and a high of 80. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per $1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Young Cycle across from FedEx Mosley Drive in Lynn Haven has a fantastic selection of pre-owned Harleys at great prices. Great prices. Don't buy a Harley until you stop by Young Cycle. Young Cycle, a full service department is available too, offering motor trike conversions, parts, and accessories. Nothing compares to Harley Davidson and the low prices on pre-owned Harleys at Young Cycle. Young Cycle, 112 Mosley Drive across from FedEx in Lynn Haven.
You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. It's 104.3 right here in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Going to take a little time out here from ranking our movies. Hopefully we find time today to get back to it. And again, you know, this is really just about trying to connect with the listeners a little bit more and give you guys, you know, some say-so on what's going on, especially, you know, right now we're just creating a bracket, and as the voting goes, it's all going to be about the results, and the only thing we're going to do is break ties. That is the only thing that we're going to be doing. But we did put a little filler out on Facebook today where we asked for questions for Would You Rather, you know, so let's kind of dive into some of those, and I want to start with one from Coach Olds, who sent one in very early today, and he said, would you rather be a great player without a ring like Charles Barkley, or a role player like a bench player with rings like a Big Shot Bob? So
we got one very similar to that, right? With the same kind of thing. It was, would you rather have the career of Andre Iguodala or Carmelo Anthony, which is essentially...
Yeah, pretty much the same exact thing. Would you rather have a lot of statistics and no rings, or rings and statistics? So... Which direction would you guys like to go? For me, it would be give me the rings, man. Like, that's the whole point that I'm playing a team sport, is I want the rings, all the individual accomplishments. Maybe I just was never good enough for the individual accomplishments, and, you know, got the best sportsmanship and most improved awards and all of that good stuff. But no, for me, I'll take the role player winning the rings.
I just feel like Robert Horry or Charles Barkley. Or Charles Barkley. Or Charles Barkley is a good one, because obviously Chuck had the personality and everything that kept him going, which, by the way, he's got a commercial out right now where he's with his younger self, and his younger self is like, how many championships am I going to win? You know what? Don't tell me. I want to be surprised. And older Chuck goes, you going to be surprised.
That's funny.
It's pretty funny. But, I just feel like winning a championship is the overall goal for every player in every sport, right? Because it's just like softball the other night. Like, you know, on an individual basis, I hit good, but we didn't win. I'm not happy that I hit good. I'm mad that we lost. So, like, I think I would rather win a ship.
Yeah, same here. Like, I mean, like you said, the end goal in every sport is to go out and be the last man standing, be the last team standing. So give me the trophies at the end of the day.
Here's another one here. This one from Justin Lassiter. Would you rather be able to shoot par or better in golf, or shoot par or better every time that you go to the golf course? Or would you rather be able to play Augusta National once a year for the rest of your life but never break par ever?
Yeah, that's it, dude. Give me Augusta because I'm never gonna break par as it is. So just saying.
That's a good answer in that sense. This one is really tough for me because a bucket list would obviously, I think, for anyone who's ever even thought about, even if they've never played the game of golf, if you know anything about golf, you would love to play Augusta National, and but to me, playing it once a year and never being able to break par or shooting par or better every time I hit the course, let me shoot par or better. Like, I'll miss out on Augusta National, and that would be terrible. But there's a lot of other golf courses that may not have the name of Augusta National, but I'm going to be shooting par or better. And so what does that mean? I'll make enough money to buy. No.
No, I mean, hey, dude, that might be facts, though. Like, that's a good way to look at that.
Yeah, give me par or better. Because, like you said, there are a lot of golf courses out there that you can go play at. Like, I've been looking up golf videos here recently, and so I'm getting a lot of targeted ads on different YouTube videos and Facebook short reels and stuff like that of like pretty places to go play, like overseas and whatnot. There are some beautiful courses out there, and yes, Augusta is Augusta, but there are some beautiful courses out there. I'm going to take par or better.
Yeah, and we've got a bunch of beautiful courses right here in our backyard in the area of Bay County in general and surrounding areas. My brother, now he's working on the road, kind of traveling and stuff, and he was just in Utah and got to play a course out there, and the backdrop was a daggone mountain, and it's just like, man, dude, like, it does not get no prettier than that, you know what I mean? Great question, Justin. I love these would you rathers, and I love the sports ones, that are directly in line with sports, and I love the ones that are kind of all over the place as well. So let's get to one that might not be, directly correlated with sports.
No, I love this. So let's go. Would you rather be stuck in a zombie apocalypse with Dwight from The Office or Ron from Parks and Rec?
Okay. Would you rather be stuck in
a zombie apocalypse?
A zombie apocalypse with Ron from Parks and Rec
or Dwight from The Office?
So I've watched a little bit of Parks and Rec and never gave it its due just, if you will, but I've watched The Office like 4 or 5 times now, so it's going to have to be Dwight because the man can do anything, you know what I mean, especially in an unnormal way, or not necessarily irrational, but he gets things done, man. I think for me, I'd rather be in a zombie apocalypse with Dwight.
I'm going to say Dwight as well, just based off of knowing a little bit about Ron. Like, he strikes me as the type of guy that's going to, that at the first sign of starvation, he's going to cut me up and fry me immediately.
You'll be part of the survival.
Yeah, exactly. Dwight, on the other hand, I don't know if he's ready to do that. That man's going to live off beets for the rest of his life.
Dude, the beet farm, like, that's plenty of, I mean, that's, that'll keep you alive for a while. I would pick Ron Swanson and just use my time to say, like, if you haven't given Parks and Rec its due, do it, because I promise, like, it's basically the same thing as The Office, but I feel like you fall in love with the supporting characters a lot more than you do in The Office. So give me Ron Swanson.
And that was the start of Star-Lord, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Chris Pratt really kickstarted Chris Pratt. So
yeah, no doubt. Johnny Yankee Seas says, I have no idea how we would find this out, and it would be stat muse. And this is not necessarily a would you rather, but I love this question here. I would love to know who has the most championships without playing in one, without registering a minute, or if you're, I think it would probably be in the sport of baseball. You got a lot of bullpen pitchers who, you know what I mean, might not have even taken the field in their entire postseason run. But then I also wonder, there's a caveat, right? So you're winning a championship. All right. Super Bowl's one game, so there's probably a lot of football players who have won the Super Bowl but did not log a minute. In the NBA Finals, you've got a maximum of 7 games, minimum of 4 games, so that would be tougher to not log a minute at all in that one. Baseball, again, same way with the series and everything. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair question, and we've got a guy here locally that's won a couple World Series rings that hasn't gotten a lot of playing time in those.
Right, but he's stolen a lot of big bases.
Right,
and
of course.
Made pivotal,
plays.
Yeah, pivotal plays for them to be able to win. I mean, think about the teams that he won with too. That is so daggone cool, man. Now that you mentioned that, what you got?
Scott Hollinsworth, of all people.
Oh, this is a good one.
Dropped one on my status, and it said, "Would you rather only for the rest of your life be able to watch NFL or MLB?
NFL.
Yeah. So, and I think that the easy answer is NFL, to agree with you there, just because the offseason is so good. But I will tell you that, like, as a guy who's watched Florida State win a championship, Miami Heat win a couple championships, Tampa Bay Lightning win a couple ships, I would trade all of them right now for a Reds World Series. And so I think that payoff to me, like being able to only watch baseball and getting to that moment, which may not ever come in my lifetime, but I just for the chance of that happening, I would choose baseball.
Yeah, that one's it is a really tough one, and baseball's been my love ever since I can remember. But man, football is absolutely king. Like, there's a reason why you don't have to do as much show prep. I mean, you got to get all the statistics and everything, but you kind of already know by the time Sunday Night Football ends which direction you're going with Monday's show. You know what I mean? Whereas during this time of the year, and especially when you get into that month of July and early into August for just a little bit, even though football's ramping up, you're digging at straws. You're coming up with a goats list. You're playing Would You Rather on Wednesdays and stuff instead of talking about what's going on right now in the sports world. So with that being said, and I've witnessed the Braves now twice in my lifetime win the World Series, and one of those I was older, really got to take it in, and that's amazing. But I have not ever won, or my team rather, the Tennessee Titans have never won a Super Bowl. They've been there now one time and left me heartbroken. So I think just with that process of elimination, because but man, with baseball, it is that 162 games. So take me out of this chair, because I think football, everyone loves to talk about football, and a lot of people love to talk about baseball, but take me out of this chair, and not as a host, but just as a fan, and I would ride with baseball.
Well, as the only one sitting here that has seen both of their NFL teams and MLB teams,
shut up, Drew.
Heard and saw the Astros win two World Series. Heard and saw.
Heard because of the trash cans. You can hear them all the way from here.
And also watched the Saints win it back such a long time ago. It pains me to say that.
Yeah.
But, watch both of them. To me, and I know they're changing it on the MLB side, but to me, it's just the football's more all action at all times.
Right.
And for me, I tend to get a little distracted. So there are a lot of times that I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't know what's happening, but football is always there. Baseball, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm watching the game. All right, I'm gonna play on my phone a little bit. Oh, I heard the crack of a bat. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Also, maybe easier to hold my attention for that one big game situation where it's like, even right now with the Heat being up 3-1, it's mentally exhausting almost, like watching X amount of games over X amount of days.
Let's see what the assistant general manager of Dave & Buster's thinks. We've got Amanda Muller in the building with us. Would you rather watch baseball? You can only choose one: baseball or Major League Baseball or the NFL for the rest of your life. Pick one.
This is a real question. NFL.
Yeah, the Wisconsinite, and I guess makes that way too easy.
I love baseball, but football is. It's like ingrained in my DNA. There's a tiny football in there that's laced up with my DNA.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you, real quick while we have you, tell the people how they could win 2 tickets to Gulf Coast Jam from Dave & Buster's.
It's funny, we just put out all the flyers on the tables as well, but if you follow our Instagram, get over to that page, and if you don't follow us, you should. If you go on there, we actually have a few contests going on, so you can win 2 bands. It'll be all 4 nights, so Thursday is included. 2 Gulf Coast Jam at Frank Brown Park. We will also be doing a scavenger hunt all week for extra entries. So we've got some hidden things around Pier Park that if you find them, they will have instructions attached to them, so you get 50 bonus entries.
Honey, I'll be home late tonight. Yeah. We're going on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it's been fun the whole time, just even filming it and doing it. We love doing giveaways like this. So be on the lookout, too, for college football season. We'll have the FSU ticket giveaways like we always do as well. So it's a good time.
It's a great time.
And Gulf Coast Jam just so stacked this year, even
It
with
really
Morgan
is.
Wallen
What you got?
backing out.
Miranda Lambert. You got Kenny Chesney, Hardy,
Yeah,
which is
Kane
like
Brown. Yeah.
Kane Brown, yeah.
of course. Like Hardy, just like from a. Like if you're somebody who's like me, like my playlist is so much like goes from Luke Bryan to Slipknot, like to just
It's that
all over
happy
the
medium.
place. Hey, Hardy is like perfect for you.
Especially with his latest album, because he's dibbled and dabbled into the rock world, but with the Mockingbird and the Crow, it's almost like a half and half. And he didn't even intend for it to happen like that. From one of the little behind the scenes things that I watched about
Well,
him.
like not
So.
even the headliner, but like Chase Rice is
Yeah.
opening for.
Yeah.
I think Kenny Chesney now, but I mean like that's awesome.
Yeah,
Bailey Zimmerman and a big up and comer as well. He's going to be there.
he just dropped his album not too long ago, I believe, Religiously. If not, there's a song on there called Religiously, and I love to just say that throughout every bar that he has a break.
I don't usually make it to like every night because I'm usually here
Yeah.
at some point, but I will not tell anyone which day I am going because that is the day it rains.
Oh, there you go.
Nick and I have a great picture last year. We're walking in and I, do the cute wife thing and I'm like, let's selfie. And like 30 minutes later, I take the same selfie and it's like, we are drenched. That was the one they canceled for a while last year before, torrential downpour. And they were like,
Torrential downpour.
Is everyone under something safe? Great. Everybody out.
That is great. It's going to be a great time this week. Or no, that's not this week. It's June 3rd, right?
Next
Is that
weekend.
the
Next week.
opening?
This is
Next
Memorial Day weekend, and then
Yes.
next weekend, I already summer is
Golly.
here. People are graduating. Congrats to Arnold and Bay.
Arnold and Bay, I think it was Arnold last night or the night before. Rutherford graduated. Bay graduated. Maybe I think it was last night as well. Yeah, congratulations to all of our graduates right here around Bay County. Hit me with another would you rather. Oh, sorry, man. I didn't know that you wasn't ready. I didn't know you wasn't ready.
So Chris Gagg's throwing out the sarcasm on would you rather be the all-time hits leader or in the Hall of Fame?
So that's for those, if that did go over your head, which I highly doubt it. We have such amazingly smart listeners, but that's basically a jab at Pete Rose, who is the all-time hits leader in Major League Baseball, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. I
know
would
you meant that, by the way. Like that we have smart listeners, but it sounded sarcastic.
Oh,
you meant it.
I definitely meant that, man. I love. Okay, Amanda. Golly.
Welcome back.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so for me, I'm
Some
going
funny
to
jokes
pick.
to tell you off the
let me
air.
get the. Let me get the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd rather be the hits leader because I mean, Pete Rose gets invited to like all the baseball stuff, all like everything to like enshrine himself, and he gets to do WrestleCon, and he's a WWE Hall of Famer.
That is true. Because they couldn't.
Pete Rose.
He really is a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll just let anyone in
He deserves to be
there.
in the Hall of Fame. Put him in ours.
Oh, that's a smart move by
It's like
WWE.
every year, WWE, if you don't watch them or you've been in the past, they usually have like actual entertainers joining the Hall of Fame and then like the one celebrity entertainer, like Drew, what's his last name?
Gorman.
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey is
Drew
in the
Corman.
WWE.
Drew Carey?
Drew Carey's
Because
in,
he
yeah.
had like one of the celebrity matches. Like I'm sure Snoop Dogg eventually will be.
Oh,
in there.
yeah. Yep.
Gronk.
Martha
will
Stewart.
someday be in there.
How about Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart for a tag
mixed
team
tag team?
match?
That'd be great.
That would be fantastic.
All I know is I'm going to say like Martha Stewart's on the Sports Illustrated magazine at 84 years old, the swimsuit
Looking
edition.
fine.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I had to question a lot of things internally.
Oh, okay. K-Man Rick with a good point about my answer. Anyways, Hall of Fame is a joke nowadays. And yes, I mean, the way that the baseball writers, kind of patrol their grounds, if you will, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Justin Lassiter with Ichiro and Tony Gwynn were better hitters anyways. Give Pete his roses already. And he also says Rose will probably be the last playing manager ever. What about for you, Drew? Hall of Fame or hits leader?
Hits leader. Because I mean, at the end of the day, he's gonna end up in the hall, right?
They're just waiting until he dies.
He's gonna end up there. So I mean, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You end up as a hits leader. You're sitting there, like Kyle said, you get invited to everything. People are saying your name for stuff like this. You're still being brought up. You could name. There are so many names in the Hall of Fame that you have no idea.
Yeah.
exactly. Like sports movies on a 64 slot bracket there.
Yeah, which we're really just going to have to ball up and we'll talk about it off the air. Like it's going to probably have to be balled up and start over next week because our list got 3 cut off of each row, dude.
We're not going to do a whole another.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but we'll have it done before.
We won't start
midway. Like, hey, which movie do you like better? Good, that one made it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I wish I could see. I do have the original list. You sent me a picture. Yeah. Okay, so one I want to do before we switch. I know we're right there on it.
Amanda can't answer.
Right? Like,
would you?
I am here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hits leader of Hall of Fame, Amanda.
I guess I thought you agreeing with me.
Hall of Fame is actually what I'm choosing because the hits leader can be beaten. The Hall of Fame can never be taken away.
Oh, wow. That was such a hardcore answer.
I'm hardcore.
I love that.
She pretty much spit on me when she said it too. Like, here, you're a Reds fan, and you interrupted me, and you're fat. Is what she?
I did not.
Would you rather? You thought it. I can hear it. I see out loud. She said, "Would you rather have to strike out Barry Bonds or keep Leo Messi from scoring?"
Lionel Messi.
So not happening.
I'm short, so that's
Neither
not.
one.
Yeah, neither of these are happening for me in my lifetime. I am going to try and keep Messi from scoring because I can happily walk the other direction where striking someone out like this is going to be just too embarrassing.
Yeah, no doubt. If Barry Bonds bats right-handed, I think that I have a 1% chance.
Yeah.
I have negative 12% chance of either of these
Yes,
options.
I'm striking out Barry Bonds.
Sure you are.
Just sheer slowness. He's used to 99. He's used to a 90 plus.
Yeah.
He's not going to be ready for 45 down the pipe.
I don't even know if, dude, to be honest with you, at 30 years old, when my shoulders as jacked up as they are now, like my fastball might top out at 70. Maybe. It's like 65.
I said 45 down the pipe.
And I don't even know if I can get it all the way down the pipe. So,
Johnny Yankee Seed has a good point. Are you on the juice?
Well, I could be.
No, but you can use the stickum.
How much?
You can use the stickum.
I'm going to ask the Batman question. Do I have prep time?
Do you have prep time?
Because I will strike Barry Bonds out if I've got prep time.
No doubt. We'll get to a few more of these when we return. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. If you got any Would You Rathers for us, just leave them here on Facebook. We're right there at ESPN Northwest Florida, or you can text us at 850-215-6290. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Out of Iowa. He went all the way to the cornfields to get him. He's like, man, you want to play real football? Come to Georgia.
Well, I told everybody. I said his leg will be fresh for the NFL. Georgia hardly ever punts.
Hey,
I don't know.
He's got something building right now. That Riola.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday evening. As we head into tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 67 with a light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the northeast. For tomorrow morning, sunshine and a temp near 77. In the afternoon and evening, a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 81. For Friday, sunshine and a high of 80. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
We don't sell the steak.
You can stir this all up.
We sell the sizzle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Very spicy.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
we're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and this is ESPN Northwest Florida. It is hour number 2, and your Atlanta Braves are going to be taking on the LA Dodgers tonight.
Freddie.
Well, yeah, Freddie hit a 3-run home run, not last night, but the night before. The Dodgers won 8-6. Last night, they routed us with Bobby Miller winning third Dodgers pitcher since like 2016 to win his Major League Baseball debut. And, him and Spencer Strider, at least this is just my opinion, and Spencer Strider's got the better track record, but they're very kind of similar. They throw a lot of heat, and they're kind of built the same as well. But, that was a very tough loss for the Bravos last night, falling 8-1, and they got to make something happen tonight, because if not, they will be getting swept by the Dodgers, the Bravos, that is. So, did you have some more? No, you're the only thing you're worried about right now. And I don't mean this.
Of course I'm worried about it, because listen to the movies that got cut off. There's two potential, really high seeds in these, especially, when you okay, so first of all, our list got cut off because I'm an idiot and don't know how to scan papers properly. I did it right.
Hey, at least Kyle's not always lying, y'all.
I never lie. I never lie. That's why I don't have very many friends. So, kicking and screaming got cut off. We Are Marshall got cut off.
How did kicking and screaming get cut off?
No. He made a copy of the paper earlier. Yeah. And there's still some others. We're going to do a double edit on this. I really
got cut off. Okay, I think they actually got cut out of the running, and I was like, no.
No, Ali got cut off too.
Ali, Slapshot's got to get on this list. And there's some.
Why does Slapshot have to be on the list?
I just think that it does, man. It's a terrible movie.
We say yes, sir.
You're right. I'll give it to you, but it's not a good movie.
It's because I'm looking at some of these other numbers, or some of these other ones, and I'm just like, I don't know. So which direction do we want to go? Do we want to get Amanda involved here back into our Goat of Goats stuff, or do we want to keep it rolling? Did we have some more Would You Rathers from Facebook?
There were a couple. Let's see. We had David Kelly asked, would you rather shoot even par or shoot 80 with a hole-in-one, which I feel like is kind of easy for me. 8 over par with one of them being a hole-in-one. You forever get to enshrine that ball.
Shoot even par at a par 72 course.
Yeah.
But let's up the ante a little bit.
Okay.
And let's say you don't break 100, but you have a hole-in-one, because that kind of makes it more realistic. With David Kelly, he just shot 79 at the Sherman Invitational at Panama Country Club the other day. So, that's a totally different situation. He's a little bit of a higher level golfer than what we are. Now, if we had Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley, the answer, it would have to be would you rather shoot 10 under par or shoot 75 and, get a hole-in-one? Because I was talking with Jay the other day. He was playing in the tournament at Bay Point, and I was like, hey, make sure you go out there and break 100. He said, if I shoot over 100, I won't be back at work tomorrow. I was like, oh, man, I wish I had a golf game like that. So for me, even I would rather shoot plus 100 and have a hole-in-one, because it kind of goes back to your Hall of Fame. That will never be taken away from you. And I'd love for no one to be there, so that I just have to live with that for the rest of my life. No witnesses, but I daggum sure enough did it.
Why I will not go golfing by myself, because I know I'm going to do something spectacular the one time.
You just got to get a GoPro then. Just put it on your
you're
phone.
right. You're right, but first I got to be able to afford a GoPro. So with that being said, guys, my Venmo. I'm just kidding.
While we're giving out
Venmos.
How many tickets?
I think it's 150,000.
Ooh, I'm
but it's one of those fancy, underwater.
12%. I am, dude. I'm 12. It only took me 2 years. I'm getting close.
I'll show you the games you got to play. There are certain games you got to play if you're trying to just stack.
See the secret. Okay, can we tell you this idea? We'll tell her on the air.
Yeah,
we'll tell her on the air. Our idea for next week. I say our idea, but Dave's idea, and then that we're gonna run with. We're gonna get shirts made. Say ESPN Northwest Florida arcade coaches.
Arcade coach or video game coach. Arcade coach might work out a little bit better. And then kind of make one of those videos where we just we'd ask them first or whatever, and then ask them if we can coach them while they're.
We should have to do it. You can't beat me at Mario Kart, but you could absolutely try to coach someone.
Yeah, that would be the whole. I think it makes it funnier if you're actually worse than them.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole goal of it, would be the funny nature of it.
We're pretty good at some of these though.
I'm going to wear a visor. I'm going to bring a whistle.
Bring a whistle.
And I'm 100%
So it's actually funny. One of the things we offer for one of our parties is a team builder, is what we called it. but we do have referees out there, and we put them through gauntlet of some games and scavenger hunts and stuff. So
I was about to say, what if you come in as the head coach or whatever, and I'll be the video game referee, and but with no method to the madness, just a whole bunch of madness.
I have an old headset like this. I'll bring and I'll slam it on the ground a couple times. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in, dude.
Get a clipboard.
Oh, that could be a lot of fun. If nothing else, it'll be fun interacting with the, as long as we're not getting in people's way.
It's a lot of good times. We got a lot of regulars on Wednesdays, especially because it's half price game day. So I know all of them, but every once in a while I'll just go out there and see that there's an open seat on Mario Kart, and I'm like, I'm about to lose to a girl.
What if you're playing 3 other girls? Do you say the same thing?
No, I wait till it's like 3 teenage boys or something, because then they're like, and then I just smoke them.
Yeah. A lot of pride on the line when it comes to the great game
I
of
lost
Mario
one
Kart.
time, and I was like, not okay. Because, he was just like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, I play this almost every day. He just came out of nowhere with those shells, man.
I think it's probably the same kids that asked me to say something into their microphone earlier.
I feel like I missed a really important piece of story.
I don't even have any. I was walking to the van to get a paper, and these kids stopped me. Hey, bro, say something into the microphone.
That's all that's what they asked you?
Yeah.
Just to say something into the microphone?
I said something, yeah.
I said, huh, and they said, huh, and I said, huh.
All right, you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's like my favorite story of the day.
Adrian Peterson.
I was there for the whole thing.
So Carmelo Anthony, not yesterday, but the day before, right? He retired from the game. And he was out for an entire year, I believe, before he announced his retirement. Matt Ryan, who is going to be an analyst for CBS this next year, is not retired. Adrian Peterson, who's 38 years old, has came out today and said that he is not officially retired. So my question here is, would you be surprised to see Adrian Peterson back in the league this year, even if it's just for a short stint? Or would you rather see Frank Gore?
I think if a team's going to sign AP, it would be somebody like Miami.
We said that about, we were talking about that yesterday, kind of playing this. Me and Tyler were playing overrated, underrated, and Zeke was on this list. It was a list of the top 10 overrated players since 2015, and it was generated by ChatGPT. So,
I like that.
Yeah. That is, for me, I would love to see Adrian Peterson back in the league. I could care less which team that he goes to. I want to see him back in the league, man. He's got that dog in him, man. Dog.
I would love to see him back in the league, but I don't think it's happening because, if he's not picked up last year or the year before that, I think he's been long done with the league since his Saints days. He didn't even look good there. So, and that was back like 2000.
If he comes
17, 18?
If he comes back, it's going to be just to hit 15,000 yards. You know what I mean? He's 82 yards away. He's 82 yards away. He's 351 yards away from Ty Barry Sanders for 4th place on the all-time rushing list. So I could very see, and you're right, though. 2021 actually was the last time that Adrian Peterson played, and it was with the Seahawks. He also played 3 games in that same season with the Titans. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I could see him. I don't know. He would have to stay on the team for, at least half a season and get minimal carries. But I could very well see a healthy Adrian Peterson getting 351 yards over the course of 10 games or so.
Dalvin Cook goes to the Dolphins. Opens the door for a Adrian Peterson Vikings reunion as the backup back behind Alexander Madison.
That could happen. It's good writing.
I think Adrian Peterson, wouldn't you rather see him kind of go out with the Vikings, though, and then officially retire at that point? Or would you rather see him with the Chicago Bears?
Adrian Peterson is a Viking.
Yeah, no doubt. But y'all NFC Northers up there, y'all will take anybody. Look at Brett Favre.
Yeah.
He's a Packer that played for the Vikings and it was hilarious, and I loved it.
No doubt about it.
So don't you think like Adrian Peterson with the Bears would get him from that three win ceiling to like maybe a 4 or 5?
Well,
3.5.
According to Amanda, y'all are going 7-10 next year.
Yep.
9-8.
No,
she said 9 and 8.
7.5 was the over/under.
Yeah,
8.
Yeah. So 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Still incredulous.
Yeah.
I thought you would have studied a little bit more this week.
It's gonna be hard, but we're gonna do it. I have faith.
What?
That's all I got, but I've got.
In Fields we trust.
There you
I mean,
go.
at least we have more than just Fields at this point. Like, we're actually trying to build something.
And DJ Moore we
think-
trust.
You know, I've got Tanyan as a Bear now. That's fun. I love that.
That's weird.
That is really
It
weird.
is going to
Grew
be
up a
weird to
Bears
see, but
fan.
Justin Fields did
And he
need.
grew up
Well,
in that
I
area,
mean,
so-
Cole Kmet hit the scene last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're going to have
DJ Moore,
a nice tandem there.
Still, who has had decent stats in the past. Can he do it again? I'm hopeful.
Who is your backup running back, though? Because David Montgomery's with the Lions now. So it's just Khalil Herbert, right?
No, they got somebody.
Well, no, there's somebody back. But yeah, Herbert was great too, and I really liked him.
Well, of course they got somebody.
No,
I just can't remember who it is.
With a name. With like a
everyone has
pretty
a
good
name.
name.
With
Well,
a
all right, you know
name.
what? I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done. I'm sitting it out.
Great job,
It's a
Aaron.
non-point
Killing it.
song in my head right now.
I
and I'm
can't
like, wait a
word.
minute.
You're usually across from me.
Great
Oh,
job,
Deontay
Aaron.
Foreman.
That's
Yeah.
who it
I
was.
love that guy,
Yeah.
man, and I think that's going to
I'm
be
really looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be fun. And like I said, I can't get much worse than a 3-win season. I had fun last year with a 3-win
Oh, it
season.
can get worse.
So
Oh, and not just that, but you guys also drafted out of Texas Roshan Johnson.
So I don't
and that's going to be a
know.
big one too.
I don't know what's. I can't wait to see mini camp and everything. I know rookie camp's going on, but I need mini camp so I can really see who I want in these places because we've got some moves we can make, which is rare from this is all we got. So,
And the wide receiving room does look completely better than what it did last year. There's not even a question about it with the addition of DJ Moore, but then also a full year or full off season rather with Chase Claypool and Justin Fields be able to work on that. So
They
it could be
drafted one as
interesting.
well, if I'm not mistaken. They drafted. Of course, here I am sticking myself again.
Google it.
Yeah, they drafted him with a name.
That guy with
he had a
That
name.
guy with the name Aaron.
Whatever,
Which,
dude.
hey, fun fact, I don't know if you know, but we did find out last week that Bella is a Saints fan. Yeah, and an LSU fan. That's where she's from. So I'm like,
Hey.
hey, you got a friend.
Yeah.
Hey.
No one told me that. Thanks, guys.
I just did.
I was
You're
saying
welcome.
thanks.
Well,
guys.
everybody that was here last week knows Drew.
Well, sorry. I
I'm
had to
thinking
work.
the other St. Brown brother, not the
Aquiminius.
Aquiminius. They still got
Aquiminius,
him.
we still have.
Darnell Mooney. That's who. I'm
And
thinking.
I mean, Amon
not
Ross
who they
St. Brown has been solid for me on fantasy every year. So it's like,
No doubt.
it's going to be hard not to choose him, but like people know about him now, so it's a little bit more difficult. But
Oh, what about this was from a couple of days ago, but Lambeau Field and the Green Bay Packers hosting the
2025,
draft in 2025. Now, the biggest one to date has been in Nashville with the Tennessee
Yep,
Titans
this
as
will be
far
the
as an
smallest
outdoor
one,
and
yep.
goes, right, but you don't think that this is going to get a large attraction just
it
because
is. It's just smallest town. To host the
smallest
draft.
town. Got you.
We, and I say we as a whole, state of Wisconsin is a we, are preparing now, and everyone is posting about it. All of my friends.
Are you
all of
going?
my
Are you gonna
friends-
try to go
absolutely,
anyways?
we'll be
Yeah.
there. All of my friends that are still there are posting about it. All my friends or Packer fan friends that I know of. I think one of them's, well, they're not in Atlanta anymore, but like they're all, we're going to be there, we're going to be there. And I'm like, you have to. It's the bars have prepared their entire statehood for this.
When the NFL draft comes around and it's in Green Bay, if they don't do the red carpet and the players roll in on bikes, I'm turning my TV off immediately.
There you go. Drew's going to be turning his TV off immediately. You guys are listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs here. And what do you think about, does LeBron retire or is he playing basketball in 2024?
I would love for
this
him
is
to
just for
retire.
Amanda. You would,
Just hang it up,
we've had a
dude.
couple of those comments so
Your
far to this
era
point.
is over.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see. Is Wembanyama, do you think he lives up to the hype? Anyone can go in on this one. I don't think that he does. I think that
it's
it's just
hard to live up
too
to the
many
hype these days
expectations.
because like we've seen the Michael Jordans and the LeBrons. So when you say like, oh, this is the next so and so, like I have those precedents now set in my head, and if you don't exceed them quickly, I've already moved on.
I think he does because he's coming from overseas. If he was coming from America, no. But since he's coming from overseas and he's already played quote unquote professional ball over there at 18, 19 years old.
I would like to see some of our high schools play up against some of those pro French teams, to be quite frank.
That is also true, but it seems like the players who come from overseas are more geared to play in the NBA. Luka, Chris Stapps and players like that.
I will say that I think there were about 8 or 9 teams that had a chance to get the number 1 overall pick. And for him to live up to the hype, I think he went to the best possible situation.
So true.
Because Pop has coached 2 of the top 5 big men of all time. It's debatable in that aspect. But Tim Duncan, Oscar Robertson, the dude knows what he's doing, coaching big men. And so, great situation.
You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't go away. We've got one more segment left today, and we'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is already your home for the most live and local sports talk. And now we're taking...
Oh, he got all of that one.
The Inside Drive. Ryan Mulvey, middays, 11 to 1 inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. The latest reactions to the biggest stories happening right now. Plus, interviews, sports betting, and your calls.
You gotta be pleased with that.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The break room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the break room.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are live. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're tuned into ESPN Northwest Florida. It's our final segment of the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've definitely enjoyed hopefully providing you guys with some entertainment. We're going to have to bring back the Go-to-Goats next week. We'll do a little bit more through the week instead of it being so much behind the scenes for next week. We will kind of have a pretty set list and maybe make the edits on air next week and then maybe start working on video games or whatever it may be. Should be a great time, though. And again, thank you guys so much for listening. We will take your text here for the final segment, though, at 850-215-6290. Let's get into a little local here that is brought to you by Barbaritos, food community people. Visit Barbaritos on 23rd Street. We talked a little bit about Liberty County and the Bulldogs yesterday. They were in a rain delay in their championship game, and they pulled out the victory this morning. So the game was postponed all the way until this morning. Thank you so much, Bella. So they win 7-4 over Branford in the Class 1A state final this morning. And the score was tied yesterday in the top of the 5th inning, 4-4. And then, the Bulldogs got to the top of the 5th inning, 2 runners, no one out. Or 2 runners on, no outs, and with 2 down, you had your sophomore Chesney Hires hitting a 3-run home run to take that 7-4 lead, and your junior pitcher Lauren Grantham dominated in the last 3 innings, allowing no runs. So the Bulldogs, Liberty County, finished their season with a record of 21-8, and they're this Class 1A state champions. So it's their second state championship, and their first one was a decade ago in 2013.
Good for them.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Liberty County, Chipley doing it in 1A in baseball. That is just awesome. The inside drive, we were talking with coach of the Chipley Tigers, the head ball coach there, Andy Compton, and that was a fun segment yesterday, just kind of, picking his brain. And he's been coaching for 37 years, which is a huge accomplishment. Tomorrow, so we've got the Coach James Hale Show. That's going to be live at 7 a.m. Then we've got the inside drive, and our good friend Max DeLyden is actually going to be filling in for Ryan Mulvey. I'll be there running the board, making sure Max is all good, and then Jay Henley will be in the building as well. So tomorrow's show will be a little bit different than your normal broadcast of the Inside Drive, but it should be a great time. Those of you might recognize the name Max DeLyden. He's on the show with us on Tuesday afternoons, normally just for the first hour. But Max DeLyden will be hosting the Inside Drive, and you can hear that from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then you'll be right back with the Afternoon Underdogs tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to have Alan Watson on with us at 4:20. Some dude named Drew's going to be sitting in with me, and Amanda. Sounds boring. Shots been fired already.
That Drew guy sounds like he can just sit there and talk, and
he
just turn
sometimes.
a lot of things, a short story into
you're doing great.
a long story.
How often in this show has your mic been muted, though?
I have no idea.
Because mine's been muted every second.
I think you're muted right now, dog.
No, he's not muted right now.
Have I ever had to be muted? I don't think so.
Well, it's not that I mean it to. I meant to hit all three of you mics because there was like an orchestra going on over here. And I'm trying.
Drew was struggling to close a to-go box, and it was hilarious.
He spent every last brain cell he had from work today and put that box together.
These are tough to put together. Why in the world are they like this?
Sir. Thank you, sir.
I need Dave and Buster to get this fixed up before the next time that I'm in.
That's going to take a little while.
Thank you for the backup. I appreciate it, bud.
I was trying last week.
It's like a cereal box, dude. Like a tab slot. Put it together.
Thank you. It's easy.
It's a cereal box.
Simple.
And this is why you're on that side of the table, and we're on this side of the table.
If we could just get one of those snapshots, and it's David's cabinet full of cereal boxes that are open and crumbly.
Well, yeah, because all I do is just take the paper, the bag that's inside, and just roll that up and put one of them little chip clips on it. And what does the box got to be closed for at that point?
Then why do you even keep it in the box?
Because I like structure.
Not if you don't close the box.
Why don't you just roll the box down?
I've seen people do that before.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
Cool. What do you do with your cereal boxes, ESPN Northwest Florida listener?
I just eat the whole bag of cereal in one sitting, and then you don't even have to worry about it.
So I have an actual problem with chips, though. Like, if I open a bag of chips, I'm like, we have got to finish this while it's still open because they're never good the second time.
See, no, if you seal them up,
I'm not saying myself, like I share, but chips are never good the second time.
I wasn't trying to get at that. I'm saying that you're wrong, though. I'm saying if you sit there and you fold,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're wrong.
But you're wrong about it.
Well, you are wrong, though.
I'm not denying that there might be a way to keep.
Well,
these
just fold. Take like the edge here and fold it to the middle. Take this other edge and fold it to the middle, and then roll it.
Now you just doing origamis, man.
Well, whatever, man. I like my chips to be folded. It's how you got Doritos, ain't it?
You just got to man up and eat them all in one sitting.
What is like the summer chip?
The summer
your
chip?
go-to chip. You're like, this tastes like summer.
I want to throw out like a new flavor that's really good because when you think of the pool, it's like
I'm going for classic summer chip. I want something new.
Exactly. Well, I'm just okay. Well, listen to me.
You're wrong, Amanda.
You gotta hear me out. Okay, listen to me. You were attacking me today, and I don't like it. We're on the same side of the table here. We're the only two service industry employees. It's Memorial Day weekend. We're supposed to stand together, but we'll spit in each other's faces. It's fine. So
toe to toe, let's go.
Toe to toe. I'm in, and you stand up in the chair and say it to my face. So.
Why you gotta,
I'm saying, like, Doritos has a new flavor. It's a hot mustard flavor, and it is absolutely gasoline on a ham and cheese sandwich.
Sounds like a Chris Purser.
Okay, so that's like the after pool sandwich because there's a honey mustard Pringle that is fire.
I think I've had that before.
It's so good.
But for me,
those sound like a
they're
man
good. Hot mustard Doritos. They're really good. I guess I have a microphone on. Sorry.
Oh, for me, I think it would have to just be one of your classic Doritos, but it's got to be on a sandwich. It's got to be.
Right, like you have to put them on the sandwich.
To me,
you don't like that?
The Frito-Lay barbecue. Otherwise, though,
classic.
A little honey twist.
Classic Lay's original.
Classic Lay's original.
See, I'm going original Dorito, but also like on the turkey sandwich.
What is the original Dorito? What is the original Dorito?
I think it's just
nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, nacho Doritos.
It's hers, it's not yours.
There you go, man. That was best joke I've heard all year, Drew.
All year.
Thank
Drew.
you.
Way to go, Drew.
Glad I could do that.
Let's get
Appreciate
into a little bit of a baseball update because as Wednesdays go, you know how it is. They're getting ready to travel, so we'll take a look here at the MLB scoreboard. And right now, there's not a lot of games being played. Well, never mind. Here we go. Scroll down a little bit. Rangers beating the Pirates. That's been a pretty good series, and the Pirates are falling back to earth slowly here with a record now 25-14. The Phillies pulling out a big one against the Diamondbacks, 6-5, playing in extra there. Another team. I mean, the Mets are heating up. You're starting to see the Phillies put it together. The Braves have to. Obviously, I know that they're dealing with some big injuries, but this is going to be a tough time of the stretch. If I were to ask you guys 2 weeks ago when it was like, oh, the Braves got this locked up, did you at that point think that the Braves would win the National League East wire to wire?
Well, we did our Taylor Swift segment.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
did
right.
Our cruel summer part, and
yeah.
I told you that I think the Braves, like with the injuries starting to stack up and with the schedule starting to get a little more difficult, which is crazy that again it's at home and they're trying to avoid a sweep by an over 500 team. I don't know why they can't win at home. It's wild to me. But I think the Braves are in trouble here, man, if their pitching staff doesn't get it together. Because you see the Cardinals. The Cardinals are one of the top scoring. I mean, look at the run differential. They score a lot of runs, but if your pitching sucks, it don't matter.
I'm still amazed we did a good 40 minutes on Taylor Swift.
It was a fun segment. It wasn't all about Taylor Swift, but the way that we could drive down the avenue talking about sports and Taylor Swift at the same time.
My creative juices were flowing that day.
It was more David, but yeah, we'll give it to you.
I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that.
I'm seeing more and more of like the TikToks and Reels from her concert, and like,
you want to go?
That looks intense.
Yeah,
it's a great
he was showing me
just
something
the outfits
earlier.
That they're wearing look amazing.
She did like a 3-hour set all in the rain last night.
Okay, so I heard about the rain one too, and I was like, good for her, because one, like, as
Morgan
anybody
Wallen.
working around her, you're probably like worried about her getting electrocuted, but two, like, that looked like fun.
Morgan Wallen can't perform 3 weeks after getting drunk at the Grove, and Taylor Swift's out here playing 3.5-hour sets in the rain.
Potato.
The Milwaukee Brewers beat the Houston Astros today, blanking them actually 4-0. Brewers, another one. Well, they've kind of been consistent throughout this entire year, and the NL Central is going to. The NL Central is going to be heating up here shortly, I do believe, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals, where do they play out. So, and then your final game that's been completed is the Minnesota Twins, who beat the San Francisco Giants today 7-1. Big win there for the Minnesota Twins, who desperately need that, 26-24, top of the NL Central, or the AL Central rather, is a good spot to be. But you want to pad those. You want to get a little bit more in the W column. Your game's going on right now. Cardinals Reds. What, that series is split at 1, right?
Yep.
And then you've got the Blue Jays and the Rays. How about the daggum Blue Jays last night beating the Tampa Bay Rays 20-1?
That's something else, dog.
That's crazy.
It really is, though, especially.
Where's the mercy rule?
Where's the mercy rule? I would never want to see a mercy rule in baseball, but I could say, too, or I can say quite, not necessarily confidently, but I do believe that they could go to that in some. They've already cut down on time, right? They've made it to where position players can only pitch at certain, innings. I could see a world where it's like, hey, you're down 15 in the 7th inning or the 8th inning. We're going to go ahead and call this game.
Yeah,
but I would hate
can't
that.
have any more beer anyway, so.
Yeah, I know. I maybe, like, I'm not trying to say I want that, but it kind of makes more sense than sticking one of your position players up there to throw 50-mile-an-hour beanbags across the plate when if somebody accidentally shoots one up the middle.
20-0 or 20-1, and you've got your best guys out there and an injury happens.
Exactly. If it's 20-1 and you've got Nolan Arenado sitting there at third base, dives for a ball, jams his wrist into the ground, that's
right,
and he's done for a couple months. Like, that's worst case scenario, but it's just a stupid way to get hurt.
And baseball is not a sport where you've got a backup for every position sitting in the dugout at that spot. You only have a 26-man roster. So, so that's why, again, I'm not saying I want to see it, but I guess it would make sense to a certain extent to be like, okay, listen, we're not scoring 19 runs in 2 innings. We'll see you tomorrow. I mean, if you can call games after 5 innings, this happened to the Braves this year, but it's not the only time this has happened. If you can call baseball games through 5 innings with rain, you can sure as hell call them being down 20 runs.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's got to be 50. What would you say is a good number? 15? 15 plus?
I would say, yeah, you're
put up
15.
You could probably put. I've seen teams put up 10, 11, 12 runs in one inning.
For the Reds, it's like if you get down by 3, tap out.
Tag it up and get out of there.
Yeah.
But I mean, 15 plus, I think that's a good number because you don't see very many teams putting up 16, 17 runs in one inning.
That's a good point. I mean, but I wouldn't want to see that. However, I could see that, and that's the kind of the problem that I have with that. How about Austin Eckler going to be staying with the Chargers? That's huge news for the Chargers. My question to you guys, my question to you guys would be, Austin Eckler, will he be the number 1 running back in fantasy next year?
No.
Got to be out the gate to me.
Who is it going to be then?
Look, I am trying to get people not to draft him.
So that keep your eyes off of Austin Eckler.
I don't think he's going to have it this year.
I just want to bring back a story here.
Oh, come on.
No, well, a couple of years ago...
We only got 2 minutes, by the way. So
a couple of years ago, whenever we were doing the Right On podcast, one of the shows that I had done with Marcus Wisner, the fantasy football podcast, Nick Gurley and Kyle Wright had jumped in with us one time, and we were doing a mock draft, and I ended up with the 3rd overall pick. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. I ended up drafting Eckler and caught nothing but flack from Nick and Kyle, and sure enough, it's paying off.
Who has a bigger year this year, Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor?
I think Jonathan Taylor.
Hope Jonathan Taylor.
I think Jonathan Taylor too. I don't think it's a knock on Henry, but the Titans didn't do anything to try to make the line better.
They did make a couple of moves, but nothing.
Right, nothing sure. None of those sure things.
Not at all.
If close contention this year, the two of them, but I'm hoping Jonathan Taylor does a little better.
If Anthony Richardson is your day 1 starter, Jonathan Taylor better be the better running back.
Exactly. That's the thing. The runability of Anthony Richardson should, in theory, do big things for Jonathan Taylor.
And I'm just saying, you're not going to put everything on Anthony Richardson's shoulders. You could put it on Tannehill's shoulders, whether he can handle it or not, but you're probably going to more likely put it on his shoulders rather than Anthony Richardson's.
Last one, and be quick on this one, y'all. We've only got just about a minute here.
Who? Be quick.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, my goodness. I'm like, oh, man, brain fart. Huge. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs or Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Burrow and Chase all day.
I'm sure Drew's got a completely unbiased answer for this.
Right. I mean, that's why I stole the answer right away. So you can just say ditto and move on.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's the quickest answer I've ever heard out of Drew.
Those two have something unreal, and while it can be duplicated to a sense, it will not be replicated.
All right, let me change it up then real quick here. Again, Josh Allen and Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow and Stephon Diggs.
It's still Chase and Burrow. They've worked together.
No.
I would
switching the wide receivers with each quarterback.
I have to,
like, is it Chase that does it that much for Burrow or vice versa?
I'm saying, oh, man,
Josh Allen's a better deep ball thrower.
He is. I'm going to say it's going to be Josh Allen and Chase.
Allen and Chase.
All right there. Good stuff. And we'll resume that a little bit next week. Again, y'all, Bryce Elder going for the Bravos tonight, going up against Tony Gonzalez for the LA Dodgers. You've been riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Your Atlanta Braves are going to be coming through your airwaves right about now.
Your attention, please.
ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday evening. As we head into